Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Tommy John Show. I'm always your host, Tommy Lane. That is Johnny Mishaws, our head commentator, gruesome Gavin Delaney, and our guest for today, a dear friend of mine, Mr. Everest Dixon. How are you, gents?
Pretty good.
All right. So before we start the episode, remember to follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. And here on YouTube, you can smash that subscribe button, the like button, and remember to leave comments on what you want us to cover on the next episode of the Tommy John Show. So, week 17 of the NFL, we'll start right there. And opening thoughts, gents, what do we think? Pretty good week of football, I would say. But why don't we start with the big problem in the room? So, we all knew who won their divisions until 425. Once the Titans beat the Texans, it was confirmed the AFC South was locked up. So it was the Chiefs controlling the AFC West, Buffalo controlling the AFC East, Pittsburgh controlling the North, the Titans controlling the AFC South. In the NFC, Packers controlling the North, Seattle controlling the West, the Saints controlling the South, and then there was one division left at 820. Undecided, a ticket to the playoffs, and hosting Tom Brady and the Buccaneers on Saturday night was on the line. It started off with Johnny's Giants taking on the Cowboys. The winner would be in the driver's seat, and it took an interception in the end zone, and it took a fumble being recovered on someone's ass, and it took a lot of other things. The Giants somehow beat the Dallas Cowboys, and they were in the driver's seat. And then it was Sunday Night Football, Washington at Philadelphia. Take it away, guys. This is where I'm going to stop, and let's get this thing started. Philly hosting Washington.
I'll get started, Tom. I'll start it off. I just want to talk to our viewers about the biggest injustice of this year so far.
Wait, can you pause? Can you show the hat you're wearing right now, please?
Giants.
Okay.
Giants. Everyone see that? Yeah, old school. The biggest injustice of this year to this date. 2021, the biggest one is Philadelphia Eagles blowing the game against Washington football team.
That was the biggest injustice of 2020.
Biggest injustice of the year.
This was a 1 year, buddy.
Just not sports, eh? Not sports.
Biggest injustice, all right?
All right.
There's no reason in a 3-point game to bench your starting quarterback unless you are trying to lose that game. And that's what they were doing. And in the NFL, that's not allowed. That's tanking. All right? They threw that game. They should not have went for it on 4th and 4. They should have kicked the field goal. They shouldn't have benched Hurts for set field. Brutal fourth quarter, brutal game. You hate to see it.
The worst thing, like the most egregious thing that's happened.
Biggest injustice of the year.
In all facets of life.
Correct. Every single one.
So now how about we circle back there to last time the Eagles played the Giants. Evan Ingram, 3rd down. Where'd the ball go?
Oh,
Butterfingers. You can't
our Pro Bowl tight end, Evan Ingram, in the driver's seat for the Giants playoffs hopes at 6-10, drops a crucial pass, barely squeaking in. So now Eagles had that Week 16 game, right, versus the Cowboys. It comes down to all the division rivals. How can the 6-10 Giants rely on the 4-10 Eagles to do their dirty work? Now, my dad's a Cowboys fan. I made a parlay. Cowboys on the 1 o'clock game, Redskins on the 8:20 game. So I would have loved to see the Cowboys' reactions if the Eagles lost that one, because I think that would have been even a bigger reaction than Giants fans because of our rivalry with the boys. But honestly, now that the everything's all said and done, Eagles take the 6th pick. Giants are at what, 12, 11? So I don't think you can really blame the Eagles for what they did after that one.
Well, I disagree. I think you can for sure blame the Eagles.
My mind just went something. First of all, how can a Cowboys fan have an Eagles son? How is that possible? That's my first.
Very true.
We butt heads a lot.
I would assume so.
I'm a rebel child.
Yeah, that's like you having a Pat's son.
No, he wouldn't be my son.
Fair enough.
You can kick him out of the house, right?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Exactly.
So anyway,
Johnny,
Johnny,
you were-
Johnny, as you were saying, I just couldn't wrap my head around an Eagles
I understand completely. I couldn't even
against the Cowboys' father.
Philly cheating the Giants. But anyway, you could for sure blame Philadelphia for that loss. All right, they were 6. I'm not talking about the playoffs. All right, maybe the Giants didn't deserve to go to the playoffs, but
They did.
Philadelphia should have won that game. They could have won that game, and they chose to tank for it. They chose to blow it just so they can lose and get the better pick, and because they hate the Giants more than they hate Washington. That's why they threw that game.
Now, where does like the Browns fall into all this? Where does the Jets fall into all this? Where do all these teams who have been known to tank for 17 games a year, and the Eagles have one game where they threw it after losing to the Cowboys, eliminating themselves from playoff contention? Why would they just hand the division over to a division rival instead of sacrificing their pick? Now, the Eagles have been known to miss draft picks, historically. And I can safely say that if we did have the 9th pick, I think the odds of missing that pick are 10 times higher. Now, with the 6th pick, I think that everyone hates Doug, but the decision came from up top. Doug still has his job today because Jeff Lurie said, put in Nate, throw the game. So I think the players wanted to play. The players wanted the win. I know Jalen Hurts was ecstatic that he got sat. He was verbally saying on the sidelines that he's pissed off. So I think that the Eagles franchise is sorry for it. I don't think you should blame our players or our coach. I think that the Eagles franchise is sorry for doing it in the way they did. I don't think they're wrong for tanking. I think that they're wrong for tanking on the biggest stage of the Sunday, week 17, and doing it in the most obvious manner possible. The way that they did it was disrespectful. Like you said, going for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal. I think that move right there is sorrier than putting in Sudfeld. Because Jalen Hurts missing that pass on 4th down.
He was wide open.
Wide open. So I think a lot of Eagles fans and a lot of speculation is the tank started right then and there. The minute he missed that pass, I think the phone call came down saying put in Nate and just get this guy out of here.
Well, you talked about with Miami and Cleveland tanking. I think the difference there is that they were just crap for years at a time. They weren't tanking; they just had nothing around.
Oh, Johnny! I have to say, your whole division's awful.
Obviously, the whole division's awful.
But it's like any other year.
Iconic division.
It is an iconic. We'll be talking about this East for years, but it's 2 years in a row where the NFC East has been sorry, and then we're like, oh, it can't. I'm like, it can't get worse from here. It got worse, and it's trending in an even worse direction. But the thing is that I'm shocked about is the reason. If the Giants were what they won before they went on that winning streak, they were 3 and something, 3-2.
They started the season 0-5, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, historically, no one's ever done anything even 0-3, 0-4.
Yeah. What I'm saying is I'm not justifying what the Eagles are doing, but I think it's just a team. I don't think a team going 7, like Washington 7-9 and going to the playoffs. I know we have to pick someone, but no one in their right mind deserves to make the playoffs from that division at all, whatsoever. We should do almost a CFL thing, like a fucking crossover.
Yeah.
However,
I will say though that the Giants do deserve to play against the Bucks. Washington sucks. Eagles were toying with them the whole game. Eagles were doing their best to get a 3-and-out. They could have dominated the Washington football team. Mm-hmm. Alex Smith isn't a legit quarterback. I mean, listen, I love the guy, I respect the guy, but I want the guy to retire. Every single time I see someone getting near his ankles, I'm like, just go down. It's hard to watch. It really is hard to watch. So I think that the Giants would have given Brady a great game. I think that the Giants are a much better team offensively than they are defensively, but I think that the Giants would have made it interesting for Tom Brady.
Well, they did. Remember Monday night, that game? Yeah. That Bucks, what was that? I forget. It was a Monday night game, and everyone was crapping on the Bucks. But the Giants at New York, that was a tough out. That was right before they beat Seattle, before they got on a nice win streak. So that Seattle match, the Giants match well with Tampa Bay. people were wondering why risk Tom Brady and Mike Evans and those guys signing for the Bucks, because if they lost, they would have to go to Seattle, and if they won, they'd play an NFC East team. So no brainer to play Tampa to get that 5 spot, because it's basically, no offense, a bye week, you know. But Johnny, why are you happy? Is there any positives? Basically, I'm trying to look from this. Like, yeah, we missed the playoffs, but did the team gel? Like, anything to? Is there any positives, or is it?
Defense looked great versus Dallas, man. Leonard Williams, Blake Martinez, they've been carrying this defense all year. Leonard Williams has double-digit sacks. I could be wrong.
Re-sign him.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. I like the defense. I like how the defense is coming along. We got, Bradbury, Logan Ryan, good guys in our secondary. That's what I like most about that game, is how the defense played. Even though they kind of crapped the bed in the second half a little bit, I still think they played well.
Shout out to Logan Ryan, former Patriot.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Daniel Jones? Oh, sorry.
It's going to make for one hell of a game between the two teams next year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Woo! That's going to be a game and a half. I want that on prime time TV, and maybe the Philly fans start throwing batteries. I want the whole thing.
I want it. Yeah, I want it. And really and truly, though, the Eagles-Giants have been kind of respecting each other. I mean, it's really been a respectful kind of bond. But now that Giants, man, the Giants are pissed. Like, I don't think I've ever felt this kind of, like, passion of hatred towards my franchise in, like, a long time. So, like, I'm looking forward to that game, because I know that the Blues are going to be out for blood. That's for sure.
Johnny, are you out for blood? Are you out for Philly green blood?
Still Philadelphia next year, man. I would never say this, but I want injuries, bro. Okay? I don't mean that. But I just want to get smacked around, man. All right?
Why? But, like, I know you hate the Patriots, and I know you hate Tom Brady. Are the Eagles now, like, you hate the Cowboys too? Like, are the Eagles your least favorite?
Cowboys are number one, man.
Yeah, Cowboys number one.
Yeah,
number one.
So the Giants are your least favorite now, Everest.
Honestly, Cowboys are always going to be my least favorite. I hate them with passion. They're disgusting, but I still respect the Giants. Listen, I like the Giants. I think that they really were ill prepared for this game. Like, as an Eagles fan, with like following them the whole year, I knew this was scripted. This was executed to perfectly. 14 points in the first half. That's exactly what we were supposed to do. Jalen Hurts proved himself in the first half, and Eagles fans are so obsessed with the statistics between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. But I think the biggest difference that people don't realize is the fact that Hurts is just so much more mentally strong, and he's just so much more confident, and he's just such a leader. And I think that's what the biggest thing that Wentz has been missing. Like you said about the locker room, like the locker room's already divided between Wentz supporters and people who play for Jalen and the team. And I think that, like, now you have your people who play for Wentz, you have your people who play for Doug, and you have your people who play for Jalen. And I think the franchise, like the fan base, guys love Wentz or guys love the Eagles. And it's like, there's so much division within the franchise that I think that this is going to be the craziest offseason in franchise history. That's for sure.
I mean, it's very rare when you see, how do I say this? A team that, like, once a 4-win team losing the last game, there's never been outrage, right? It's not like, oh my God, they blew it. They're like, oh, well, they're 4-11, you know? But now the Giants, like, I couldn't be a Giants fan on Sunday. I could not think of what Johnny was going through at all. I
couldn't think of what he's going through with the intention of the Eagles winning. I would be
exactly. What do you expect? They're 4 wins. They're a 4-win football team.
Yeah.
They won 4 games in the last 3 months. So they're gonna go out on a limb and try and get you into the playoffs. No chance. If the Giants should, I believe what putting in Sudfeld was wrong, because I believe in competing, right? I believe in give it your all. Put the best players you have. But by the way, look at the Eagles before the game. Fletcher Cox wasn't there. Miles Sanders wasn't there. Deshaun Jackson was like, the whole goddamn team wasn't there. Dallas Goedert wasn't there. The whole team was gone. So when I saw the list of the inactives for Philly, I'm like, they're tanking. Like, what are they, like? It's not like injuries. I think Fletcher.
Most of them, most weren't even injured. Like,
yeah. He's like, I'm not even going to put you on the field because I want – no. Who's the guy, Watson, they brought in? Who's that?
Kez Watkins.
Yeah, what was his name?
He was drafted. Rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, is it the guy that picked over Jefferson?
Yeah. No, that was Rieger.
That's Rieger. My bad. That's Rieger.
Yeah.
That's Rieger. But it's just all like I believe in controlling your own destiny. You look at like New Orleans, God bless them. Like they had some ups and downs, but they beat Tampa twice head to head. Control your own destiny. If Evan Ingram catches a damn football, you're in the playoffs.
You're in the playoffs. Yeah.
You're in the playoffs.
You're in the playoffs.
You can't let the beauty of this league is you can't let someone control your own destiny for you. You got to go out and take, especially in this division.
Especially division rival.
Division rival, yeah. You can't do that. But I think putting Nate Sudfeld in was like I don't want to say bogus, but I believe that the Eagles should have like some not passion, but have some competitive drive. It's the National Football League, and people are playing for paychecks. But as a Giants fan, I get being mad, but like I feel like they're a bit over.
Yeah, Tommy.
Bit overreacting. I get both sides. Like the Eagles want a better draft pick because 6 to 9 is big. The Giants also want to go to the playoffs, but putting Nate Sudfeld in, I don't think was the right way of going about it. Gav, you wanted to say something?
I was just gonna say, to kind of build off your point. I was speaking with my dad, and like, yeah, I get why the Giants are mad because like if Philly if Philly played their best guys and got hammered, that's just what happens, But the way it happened, it was a little salty, left a bad taste in the Giants' mouth, that's for sure. But if you want to avoid that situation, what do? You just win a game. You win games, Like, you control your own destiny. You can't leave the fate of your team and your playoff run in the hands of another franchise. So, obviously, that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
But things like this can be avoided. So, you just got to move on. If you're a Giants fan, you got to move on and pray to God that you beat the living shit out of the Philadelphia Eagles next year. Excuse my French. Please, you can take that out.
No, all good, Gav. But Johnny, Everest, any
last franchise here? Am I allowed to defend my team?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you had any last words about
I got some last words. The point is not the playoffs. And by the way, it's not the Giants people saying this. This is the announcers, the ESPN personalities, other coaches are all saying this stuff. Even announcers during the game. The guy said he didn't want to say the T word at the Collinsworth, I think it was. The T word tanking, right? Everyone knows that they blew that game on purpose. That's the issue.
No question.
Obviously, we could have won more games, made the playoffs, obviously. But the issue with that is that they threw the game on purpose. And there has to be some sort of ramifications or consequences that come from that. Because if there's not, all you're doing is saying, if you want a higher pick, throw the game. Why not?
Everest, you want to defend your team one last time for what they did final?
I think that the decision to tank was the right one. I think how they tanked was not great. However, I will say this, just put this on the table, like what would the reaction be if the Cowboys beat the Giants and they were waiting for this game? I can guarantee you that if the Cowboys were the ones waiting, the whole league would have made a mockery of the Cowboys for not getting in. Like,
big time.
We all would have been like, yeah. So I really wanted the Cowboys to win because it would have felt so sweet being the ones to kick them out. But because the Giants did win, it leaves a salty taste in their mouth for sure.
It's like, I totally agree. It's like the polar opposites. If the Cowboys were the ones in the driver's seat and the Eagles did that, that would have been everyone's standing ovation. God bless Philadelphia, sticking it to Jerry Jones. Like, what a city, what an organization. But, Andy Dalton throws a pick in the end zone, and then now it's New York City just complaining and because they got the Jets. No offense, Gav. Not a good franchise. And the only hope are the Giants, and the Giants' fate is in the hands of literally the city an hour away from them, Philadelphia, and Philly kind of gave them the finger and saying, no, sorry, man. But if it was Dallas, that would have been the funniest thing of all time.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys were the ones getting screwed over by Nate Sudfeld.
But I will say the Giants looked good, though. Giants looked good in that game against Dallas. They really looked good.
They got their coach, I think, Joe Judge.
I like him a lot.
But one funny thing that I noticed is how, like, before that game, like, every Giants fan was all of a sudden a diehard Eagles fan. Fly Eagles fly. Even Johnny, you're a victim to that. Fly Eagles fly.
It was the Twitter comments.
Exactly. And then, like, literally, like, 4 hours later, you guys were ready to sack Philadelphia and just burn down the stadium, and just like it was so funny how quickly that transition.
Fly. I think it was fly Eagles fly to Y Eagles Y was.
Or die Eagles die.
Yeah.
So funny.
Exactly. So Johnny, I'm happy you showed up to work today. Really am, because a lot of Giants fans is like, I need 2 months off.
What do you call them?
But yeah, you would have called in sick. You would have do something. But Johnny, my favorite saying, better luck next year.